We have seen how the fluid is produced and transported from the wellheads to the inlet of the process. Now, let's describe the processing unit. During this lesson, we will focus on a typical processing plant, the fluid feeding this plant, and the final products obtained. Then, we will describe more specifically the oil treatment, followed by the gas and the water treatments. In order to define the role of this specific part of the system, let's focus on a typical oil field processing installation. The production wells send the effluent to the process unit, where it is treated to obtain oil to be stored. What treatments are required? We will describe on the one hand the fluid entering the process, and on the other hand the final products and their use. When an effluent enters the process, it is composed of hydrocarbons, including light ends, water, and impurities. Moreover, the fluid is made up of two phases, liquid and gas. What do we want to obtain from the process? The oil is treated to be stored, the gas is partially used for gas injection and gas lift activation of the production, and the produced water is treated for reinjection or rejection. Let's focus on the oil. Let's consider one by one three specific components of it: the light ends fraction, the water and salt, and the hydrogen sulfide. Why and how to remove them? The oil produced at the outlet of the process unit is stored in tanks, transported in pipelines or tankers in safe conditions. For that, the amount of evaporated oil during this part of the production chain has to be reduced. It is necessary to remove most of the dissolved light ends from the effluent. In practice, stabilization or degassing is the process which removes dissolved gas from the crude oil. Most often, water or brine, salt water, is present in the crude oil as free water and or as emulsion. Chlorides present in the brine are very corrosive for the steel equipment, such as the flow lines, the pipelines, tanks, and so on. It is the case for hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. To conclude, water, salt, and acid gases have to be removed from the effluent. The crude oil dehydration or desalting is a process for removing brine from the crude oil stream. It lowers simultaneously the amount of free water and the amount of salt. For healthy concerns, the limit of hydrogen sulfide remaining in the stored oil is typically lower than 20 to 80 ppm mass. Most often, the stabilization process is sufficient to decrease the amount of H2S in the oil below this limit. The associated gas available at the outlet of the stabilization process is treated depending on its end use, either power generation, export, reinjection for reservoir pressure management, or activation of the production by gas lift. The last part of the effluent is the water, which is treated in order to be reinjected in the reservoir for the pressure management or rejected. The aim of this part of the process is to remove the remaining droplets of oil contained in the water after the stabilization phase. Different techniques are used to decrease drastically the amount of oil in water. 2 to 3 treatment steps allow the remaining particles to be less than 3 to 10 microns meters. In the case of a gas field, the effluent entering the process is composed of gas and liquid, named condensate. Therefore, the first processing step is a separation called primary separation, in order to send the resulting gas and liquid to two different treatment chains. Hereafter, Olivier Bernard will describe the gas treatment and Jean-Luc Monsavoie the liquid treatment.